think as a motovlogger, we have a little bit different set of requirements. Here is my Hero 8 Black up close. We got the power button on the side. This external microphone adapter does not come with the camera. I purchased it with my Hero 5 Session. Fortunately, they still support it. Works just fine on the Hero 8 Black. Here is the charging port, the external microphone port, and then runs around to the other side of the camera, plugs into the charging port right here, and then we've got our battery. I like the fact that I've got replaceable batteries again. The Hero 5 Session does not have a replaceable battery, and then the SD card sits right above that. So feature number one that I like is they now have the mount built into the base of the camera. My previous Hero 5 and Hero 2, the mount is part of the case, and you have to put the case, or you have to put the camera inside the case. So here's the Hero 5 Session that I've been using for quite a while now. I like this camera a lot. It's got some weird quirks to it, but it's a good camera. But this is the case that it sits in, and you can see the mount is part of the case. You cannot mount the camera without the case. Another cool improvement is they have an array of microphones on this camera. So there's a microphone right there. There's one underneath by the mount. And then I believe this is also a microphone. Now, this new feature is supposed to enhance the camera's ability to filter out things like wind noise. For me, it's not a really big improvement because I'm always using my external microphone adapter 90% of the time. One touch recording, man, I'm really happy to see them keep this feature around. This is a big deal, I think, for motovloggers, at least for me. And what this allows you to do is keep the camera off to conserve battery if you're going for a really, really long ride. And then with one touch, you can start recording. It will turn the camera on and start recording, and you can see the flashing there where we are recording. And then if you hit the button again, turns the camera back off, and we are saving battery power. It's hard to read, I think, but it does say powering off. Wow, taking a long time to power off. There it goes. All right, next feature that I really like is this full color LCD touchscreen on the back. It makes it super easy to configure and change configuration and see battery status and recording time, all that kind of stuff. And you can just swipe across, and you can switch modes by swiping horizontally. So now I'm in a time lapse mode. Swipe the other way, we go back to video, swipe again. Now we're in photo mode. Auto low light automatically reduces your video frame rate in low light situations for improved image quality. Well, that's so nice of you. One of the coolest features, I think, is the ability to manage your presets. So these are the 3 presets that come with the camera, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you can create new presets. That's super cool. So you can set your resolution and your frames per second. We'll go ahead and just to make something different, we'll set it to 2.7K, 30, and we go back. And low light is not available. I think that's probably because of either my resolution or frames per second. Hyper smooth, clips. You've got a Pro Tune section, which I'm not a pro, so I'm not going to touch any of these because I don't know what I'm doing. And if you keep scrolling down, you've got some on-screen shortcuts. And when you get to the bottom, hit the check mark, and you can pick a category and icon. We're going to go ahead and stick with custom. And boom! Now we're in custom mode, which is the 2.7K, 30 frames per second wide shot. But then I can come back and switch to standard. So it's a lot quicker to switch between different resolutions and frames per second and wide versus other angle types, right? So I can just keep switching back anytime I need to. So it's just a lot faster to be able to customize the existing presets and create new presets. That's really cool. I like that feature a lot. All right, now let's talk about a couple of things I don't like. First, and I had the same problem with the Hero Session 5, I cannot plug in my external mic adapter and keep the cover on at the same time. It just won't work. So I have to take the cover off and run without the cover in order to enable my external microphone. That stinks. That really stinks. And just to show you guys, same problem with the Hero Session 5. I took the cover door off because that was the only way I could run the external microphone while I was using the camera. Really disappointed that they haven't fixed that yet. The other thing that is a pain in the butt with this camera is the SD card. So I can press this guy out, and so now you can see it's popped out a little bit farther, but with my fat fingers and my short fingernails, I can't get it out. I literally can't get it out. So I use little tweezers to pull the micro SD card out. But here's the thing, man, with the Hero Session 5, they actually, where are we at here? Where are we at, man? They actually put the SD card at an angle. Now, yeah, they've got a lot more width to work with. The Hero 8 Black is a thinner camera, but I just think that this design is better. So it actually kind of pops out at an angle. And if I turn the camera this way, I can pull it out with just my tiny little humongous fat fingers. So there you go. Now I don't want to mix up these SD cards, but I think that's a way better design. And I understand they didn't have a lot of room to work with. If we compare the widths here, the Hero Session 5 is more of a square, and the Hero 8 Black is more of a rectangular-ish design. So yeah, okay, I get it. They didn't have a lot of room to play with, and it is what it is. We'll deal with it. So those are really the only two negatives or knocks about the Hero 8 Black, at least from my motovlogging perspective. The fact that I can't run my external microphone and keep the case cover, the battery cover on the camera all at the same time. I have to take the cover off. That's specifically a motovlogging gripe. Let's see, and then the SD card, the way they designed how the SD card is inserted and removed, I think they kind of went backwards. It's a lot harder to work with, at least if you've got big fat claws like these tiny little fingernails. It's just really hard to put the SD card in and take the SD card out. All right, last but not least, this is my biggest disappointment with GoPro. In the past, the lens cover was something that is replaceable, and I think that's important. I don't do just street vlogs. If you've been around my channel a while now, I'm sure some of you have, you'll know that I do a lot of motocross riding as well. And with the roost of the bikes in front of me, I've already broken one lens cover. And here's the Hero Session 5. One thing that's really cool about this is you can get new lens cover. It's got these little bolts all the way around the perimeter. You can remove this lens cover, you can get a new one reasonably inexpensive, and slap the new one on. It even comes with new screws. It's really easy to do. I did a whole video. I'll put the video link up in the right hand corner. And even with the Hero 2, this is my Hero 2 from 2012. The case that this camera sits in has a replaceable lens cover. Now, GoPro says that they've increased the thickness of the lens cover from like 1.2 to, I don't know, almost 2 millimeters thick, something like that. So it's thicker, I get it. However, I have no confidence that that will, in the long run, withstand the roost at the motocross track. At some point, it's going to get hit with a rock and it's going to break, and then I'm going to be done. From what I've understood, the only way you can get this fixed is to send it into GoPro. Who knows how much that's going to cost? Who knows how long it's going to take? And I think they've removed the power from the user, and they're kind of forcing you to rely on them now, and I think that stinks. Apparently they've got some kind of GoPro Plus program where you pay like $10 a month or something, Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure what the cost is. I've heard a few people talk about it. And I guess if you buy into that program and you buy that monthly service fee, they will fix it faster for free. I don't know. I think it's pathetic and sad, and I'm really disappointed that GoPro has moved into this direction. I'm gonna end this video with showing you guys 2 clips. On the left will be the Hero 7 Black, Hero 8 Black, and on the right is the Hero 5 Session. It is the same stretch of road, 2 different days. On the right, you can see it's a little bit later in the day. The sun is closer to setting and it's a little bit more in my face. But you can clearly see how much more color and how much more the video capture on the left, it's just more vivid and just kind of pops a little bit more. The quality of the Hero 8 is definitely an improvement over the Hero 5 Session. I have had no other GoPros. I'm going from the 5 Session to the 8, so I can't really compare from 8 to 7 or 7 to 6. But it's definitely a big improvement from the 5 to the 8 Black. So at the end of the day, would I recommend that you buy this camera, the Hero 8 Black? Well, that kind of depends. I would say that it depends on what camera you are upgrading from. I think for the Hero Session 5, I would definitely say it's worth it. You have some of the same problems as far as not being able to use the cover while your external mic is plugged in. So that's the same on both cameras. So the SD card is easier to use on the Hero Session 5. But you know what? I can live with the way it works on the 8. I mean, I've been living with it, so that's not too bad. The one big problem I see is being an action camera and not having that replaceable lens cover it's just huge. I can't believe they did that. I'm really disappointed with GoPro. But configuring the camera with the LCD, the quality of the video is substantially better. And I think because of those reasons, there are also some other issues with the Hero Session 5. I made a whole video about that a long time ago. In terms of the external microphone, audio would randomly work or randomly not work, depending on how you want to look at that glass, half full or half empty. There was a fix for it. It involved downgrading the firmware, so it was a very frustrating process. But once I finally found the fix and implemented the fix, I haven't had any problems with it since then. But the Hero 8 Black has not had any of these issues out of the gate thus far. I think I've done 2 or 3 videos, including this one. So I think the answer depends. Would you upgrade, or would I recommend you upgrade to this Hero 8 Black? From the 5 Session, definitely I would say yes. Just know the issue with the lens cover if you're doing something like motocross, where that can be a real problem. If you have the 7, I don't know. I don't really know a lot about the 7. I'm not sure how many features in this 8 Black are worth the upgrade from a 7 or even a 6. I can only tell you from my experience going from the 5 Session to the 8 Black, I would do it again. That said, hopefully this gave you some idea. Maybe you can answer that question for yourself if you're out there with a GoPro 7 or a 6 and you're thinking about upgrading to the 8 Black. If there's something you're curious about and I didn't cover in this video, shoot me a DM on Instagram or Twitter, or leave a comment down below, ask a question, and I will try and get back to you and answer it as quick as possible. Till the next video, keep the rubber side down, guys. If you haven't already, subscribe. If you like this video, hit that little thumbs up, and we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.